Well, hey everybody. Today is, let me see now. I had it in my mind. All right. It's Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. I'm gonna have to start over. All right. Hey everybody. Today is Thursday, April the 4th. The year is 2024. They're talking about the eclipse on the internet, all about it, and I've got some video I can cut in here that talks about where's going to be the best place. Well, I made a deal with my Father, Mother, God that if I wasn't supposed to travel, it'd be cloudy. But if I was supposed to go and experience what I need to experience for my inner knowing and to come more in line with the love of Christ, then allow it to be a pretty day where I could see it. And that's the way I run my life. If I'm not supposed to do something, I ask for it to be blocked. Whether it means anything to me or not is beside the point. When we get in a perfect timing of the Christ consciousness, we don't want to get out of it. And I've been in it for 20 years, August 17, 2003. I'm not saying everything has been perfect, but in the now moment of what now is, it's always perfect. Now the surroundings and the situations and the so-called events that go on, I don't really attach my thinking to those things, so they just have absolutely no meaning, or they have way too much meaning. And I get right back in the center of now, and then I realize what's important. It's only my breathing. When I stop breathing, I got a problem. But when you consciously breathe and you consciously strive to live in the peace of the resurrected power of the Christ consciousness through the self-realization of the I am presence that you are and that I am, that's when we realize that all time is going on right now. There's a perfection in the moment of now. It's like me trying to find a better place to talk where the wind ain't messing with the microphone. Okay, I'm going to show you some people that are talking about the eclipse in several different ways.
Upper low out here. That is going to drive Pacific moisture into Texas. We also have flow off the Gulf, which is going to likely lead to heavy rain along the North Gulf Coast. So through parts of the path of totality, especially in the southern end, that's what we're going to be dealing with. I do think viewing potential gets better in northeast Arkansas, into extreme northwest Kentucky, and then into southern Indiana. That's where things are looking pretty good. Upper low out here.
And now there's always more than one way to look at what's going on. Here's one that talks in terms of the Mandela effect.
Good morning, parental units.
Dawn greetings, young one.
What would you like for consumables? Pop-Tarts, chicken embryos, seasoned patties of ground animal flesh?
I'm not really hungry. Just some Tang.
Ah, Tang, the drink the astronauts took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
Finally worked out why you were all asking me if we are restarting the LHC on April 8th. Hi, my name is Clara and I am a particle physicist working on the Atlas experiment at CERN. In fact, I've just finished a night shift in our control room. I've now finally understood why I'm getting these messages saying, are you starting the LHC on April 8th? It's because the solar eclipse in the US also happens to be on April the 8th. Just to let you know, well, the LHC is already back on. We've been having beams back in the accelerator since the beginning of March, specifically March 8th, and we have been commissioning the Large Hadron Collider, which means checking that all of the settings and everything's running properly before we do the collisions for data taking. So we have already been doing test collisions, but it's the regular running that starts on April the 8th. It just happens to coincide with an astronomical event, so the timing is a pure coincidence.
Have you ever wondered how this trick is done? You know he can't really make his head drop that far, yet it still confuses you when you see it. Well, the secret's actually really simple. Look closely at his coat during this shot. Notice how it's very large in comparison to the rest of his body. That's because there's a secret frame that's holding the coat in place, letting his head drop and the coat to remain static.
There's a video called Happy at CERN that the folks at the US LHC uploaded to YouTube in November of 2014. It's getting some play because folks are seeing a connection to the Mandela effect. And so they should. You don't have to be Einstein to see this as incriminating evidence and admission that they're responsible. We're not the first ones to give this some attention, but we're going to go deeper into the symbolism, shining more light in the darkness to bring their shadowy agendas into view. Here's the most interesting bit.
If you feel like that's what you want to do, bring me down, can't none bring me down. The love is too high, bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
All through the video, people are dancing to the song Happy by Pharrell Williams. There's a few flying and spinning stunts with green screen special effects, but this guy in the messy office stands out like a sore thumb. What's going on here? Bottom line, it's a song and dance routine. This song and dance is intended to deceive, to mislead. It's an evasive ploy, a distraction, misdirection. We are happy at CERN. Okay, but look at the other signs. He's got placards hanging around his neck. On number 1, in Mandela. His shirt has math on it, which is a clue. It means, do the math, solve the equation. On the wall poster, there's a big piece of a jigsaw puzzle. It means, there's a puzzle here, find the pieces and put it together. In the James Bond franchise, the first actor to play the role of Bond was Barry Nelson in 1954. The orange sign says Mandela. Do the math. Barry Nelson plus Mandela equals Barry Nelson Mandela. The phenomena that has become known as the Mandela effect is named for the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Many people remember that he died in the early 80s when he was in prison, yet somehow all the evidence suggests that he got out of prison and lived until 2013. This guy is doing his version of the song and dance routine with a sign. We are happy at CERN. The @ symbol is a sign that tells us that they know how to use symbols. He covers his face with it. He gestures with it as his contribution to the song and dance routine. It's providing cover, not so much for his face, but for the real meaning of what's going on. It's not just cover for the scene, and we know this because what's written on the sign tells us that the meaning of the entire video is hidden and revealed. The guy is playing peekaboo, a game you play with infants. Now you see him, now you don't. Isn't this the way of the Mandela effect? One day it's mirror, mirror on the wall, and the next day it's magic mirror on the wall. Peekaboo. Folks, we're being mocked. See all the piles of paper? Really, who has an office like that? It's part of the set design. Think of how the Mandela effect deals with a collection of memories, like a stack of papers in a collection of documents. Some bound, some unbound. They're in the business of shuffling memories around like documents in big piles. The sight of such a mess and the obvious potential there is for piles to topple over raises stress in many people. This is one of the results of the Mandela effect, which is really stressing a lot of people out. There's more symbols here, and we're going to keep exposing them. But you see how this is an admission that they're responsible for the effect without them actually coming right out and saying it? Here's a little scene where they're dancing all over and around code 33.
If you feel like happiness is the truth, like happiness is the truth, like happiness is the truth.
The number 33 is a big deal, not just to the Freemasons. Notice the other emergency vehicle is signaling the mirroring of fire. As above, so below. Fire is one of the 4 elements honored with its watchtower or guardian when a magic circle is cast for the performance of a ritual. As we play through the context of this scene with the firemen, you'll see how this is part of the ritual casting of a magic circle. Witches cast a circle beginning with air, and so we see a man flying through the air. Fire comes next, then water, then the earth, and the circle is cast. They show us one of the circles of the LHC as the magic circle. To show us the water, they do some charades with a group waving their arms, then a woman making a wave. We see big tanks and lots of the color blue. I think they obfuscate the water sequence and extend it because water is a symbol of time, and that's really what they're hiding. Here's a screenshot from 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's a 33 on the counter. Player 1, player 2. Do you think we're being played? The video ends a few seconds later. Game over? Is that why they're so happy, because they think it's game over? The score showing is rather one-sided. You have to admit, with the reality of the Mandela effect, it looks like their boast is legit. However, this game over bit they're dancing all over, it ain't over till it's over, and it ain't over yet. There are some other symbols in this commercial that should really speak to you about what's going on here. See this design on the pillow? It's called a mandala. These designs are used for meditative purposes, for attaining altered states of consciousness for the purpose of establishing a connection with the divine, which is to say, entering into communion with demons. Mandala. Think Mandela, like Nelson Mandela and the Mandela effect. This phenomenon that has become known as the Mandela effect has captured a lot of people's attention, but most have no idea really what to make of it. This mandala design on the pillowcase is a message. Let it speak to you in the context. The Mandela effect is a demonstration of the power to turn back time, to manipulate history itself. These sci-fi channel producers are literally magicians who are practicing ritual magic through the embedding of time codes and occult symbols, even a form of time magic. It's about the power to turn back time, which is the whole premise of the commercial. We refer to magic and time magic. This is CERN's deal, which gives homage to the horned god invoked during ceremonial magic, CERN Nunos.
A spectacle for something truly spectacular. Switzerland and much of Europe are celebrating the official opening of the world's longest and deepest rail tunnel. The 35-mile Gotthard-based tunnel snaking through the Alps to provide a high-speed link between northern and southern Europe, as deep as 2.3 kilometres below the surface.
And you may ask yourself, what is the Mandela effect? Even after you watch the clip. But what it is only for you to know in your inner knowing and your understanding of how and why things in your life have changed. You have to become one with your timeline and realize that there's multiple events and things happening simultaneously. And if you want to clean up like your computer, there's a way to empty the trash within this reality. There's a way to literally time travel back in time and heal the event. I've talked about it in many videos and never really made one solid video about it, but I'm leaning that way. Maybe one day I'll come up with a way to tell that story coherently and clearly where it can help people. But I just say it like this. If you are awakening to the glitches that are in the matrix of this reality, of a simulation reality, and you know that within your being, your heart, and your soul, then yes, you can time travel. If you have problems with inner knowing who you are as not a body and not a personality, then keep working on yourself. Clean up. Quit drinking, quit doping, quit smoking, quit hanging with people that are sucking energy from you. It'll be better for you and better for them. Cut some things out of your life that you never thought you could. And you'll move more into the awareness of that you are a light-bodied being inhabiting a physical form, and that your powers are tremendously. It's no one has more than the other. If Christ said he could do it, you can do it. If you want to know how to do it, you have to ask for it. And then you have to be still. Your mind has to become completely still so you can hear the voice of what your Father is. And that inner knowing will lead you and guide you to movies, to books, to videos, to the things that resonate the truth of this reality. And if you close yourself off, that's okay. You just take that sucker and you put it on a shelf and you say, this book didn't make no sense. But never forget that you can ask for clarity on any books, any clips, any videos, anything to do with the internet is working for your behalf. It should not work to trap you and to make you feel like you're less than. I'm here to tell you that you are the Christ. And I'm not afraid to say that because I know who I am. When you know who you are, then you know who everyone else is. And you realize that there's not many of us. It's just a few of us. Based on the scheme of things, there's a lot of us that have woke up. But for us to complete the work in this reality, there's a hell of a lot of us need to snap out of it and wake up and become one with the truth of love. Love is the key. Without love of self, you can't start cleaning up yourself. Don't ever talk bad to yourself about yourself. There's enough people doing that for you. Never entertain gossip. I'm giving you just some real simple things. Life is not what we think it is. Our bodies are divine. They can heal themselves with the spoken word. You can speak life to your atoms, your cells, your DNA on a daily basis. I do it. I kind of like do it all the time if you really want to know the truth. I do it when people can't see me, but I'm doing it right now when y'all are looking dead at me. It makes me feel good to say these words. I love myself. I am speaking with the resurrected power of the I am that I am. Life to each atom, each cell, each DNA molecule, down to the very essence of the mitochondrial cells and the telomeres. I'm speaking longevity to the molecules within the coding of codons of love and light coming from the central sun of the Milky Way galaxy. And within this time continuum, I am becoming healthier, younger. I speak that I am becoming that of a 21-year-old elite Olympic athlete specializing in decathlons, triathlon, CrossFit, kiteboarding, cycling, walking, running, spinning. All these disciplines come to me quickly and easy. My body is regenerating itself at the molecular level. My tendons, muscles, fibers, joints, ligaments, cartilages, all the fascia, muscle tissues is regenerating, regrowing. My bones are becoming super strong. They're regenerating from the atom to atom. With this love of Christ consciousness through the self-awareness of the I am presence, each atom is becoming self-aware, as in the singularity of this event horizon, which is the being that is speaking through this channel of information that I am. I am blessed and have much favor. I have prosperity coming to me 10 ways. My mind is clear. My heart is full of love. I have the ability to speak life to myself, and I also have the ability to teach others. You can't teach what you don't know, and you can't give what you don't have. Seek the kingdom first, and it's not outside of you. You'll find that it's within you. All of the things of our Father, Mother, God are within us. The totality of the universe is within us. The ability to help people is growing within the body of Christ. Within the manifested sons of God awakening to the true identity of their I am presence, we are all interlined with this knowing there's nothing to fear. When we cut our TVs off, we really get the clarity of there's nothing to fear. Mine's been off for a pretty good while. And I will say this, I've never owned a cell phone, never had a cell phone contract. And I'm not planning on doing it. I'm not playing that game. I'm good at a computer, I will tell you that. I can use that thing to learn, educate myself on a daily basis. I ask Father, Mother God to bring me wisdom and information through the internet that I need to know and understand so I can become all that I can be within this time continuum. I am that I say I am. I'm becoming that of a 21-year-old elite Olympic athlete, specializing in decathlons and triathlons, kiteboarding, cycling, running, CrossFit. All these disciplines come to me quickly and easy. My body is regenerating on a cellular level on a daily basis. I said that to tell y'all you can do what I do. I can do only what my Father tells me and shows me. I can be an example of Christ consciousness for everybody to see. Some people think that I'm naive. Some people think that I'm crazy. And some people think that I'm too full of joy, too full of peace. They wonder why I'm so happy. Happy is a good state of being. Strive to be happy in your reality by loving yourself first. Only do that brings you peace and joy. And ask Father, Mother God for wisdom to how to maintain that, and you will be shown the way for you. I love you. Keep coming back to my channel. We'll talk about these things, these deep things of understanding and inner knowing as I get better and better at telling stories and making videos. Thank you to all my new subscribers and all the people that have tuned in to a lot of my shorts. Thank you for looking at my long form view videos. I hope you like them. Leave a comment. If there's any questions or anything you want me to elaborate on, I will. I'd love to be able to interact with my community as it grows. Some way I will figure out a way to do that as I learn these things. Y'all have a wonderful day. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.